What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon, and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are talking about the second book in the Strange the Dreamer duology, The Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. So, when I read Strange the Dreamer, I absolutely loved it. I completely fell in love with that. That book was so stunning. It bewitched me, body and soul, and I loved everything that the author was saying. It was so wrapped up in metaphor. It was beautiful, and it was just an overall amazing 10 out of 10, just hit it out of the park read. Muse of Nightmares is not exactly the follow-up I was looking for. This book does pick up right where we left off at the end of Strange the Dreamer. So Sarai is dead, Laszlo is one of these gods, and they've moved the angel, and lots of things are happening, and we have all of these questions, like what the heck is going on here? And Muse of Nightmares does answer all the questions. So where did this metal come from? Where did these gods come from? What are they doing? What happened to the children? Why is all of this stuff going on? That is all answered. And I do love that she answered all of these questions for us. But where the first book I felt was almost perfectly paced, the Muse of Nightmares was really difficult to get through. It takes about 150 pages for anything to actually happen, and then it's not until you're about 350 pages in, which this is like a 400 page book, 500 page book, so well over halfway for anything of major importance to the plot to actually happen. So it is very, very slow. And also when it came to the romance, I really loved Sarai and Laszlo's romance. It's so fluffy in this book, and it felt like there was so much filler, and this book could have been so much shorter if you took a lot of that out. All of the tension was gone from their relationship, in my opinion. Now, some people do like fluff, and that's fine. I am definitely somebody who wants to hurt until the very last minute. So all of that tension was gone, and her being a ghost had pretty much no merit to the story. Basically, it was still business as usual. The only difference here is that she was under the control of Minya. Now, Minya's story was something that I found very, very interesting because you got to see what happened to her and discover her trauma and why she is the way that she is. That was really good. I think having the introduction of two new characters at the beginning to help explain why everything is happening was very, very interesting. But I feel like as a second book standing on its own, it just can't do that. Strange the Dreamer is perfect on its own, and Muse of Nightmares feels like a lot of filler and just explanation and not a lot happening, and then all of a sudden so much is happening at the end, and I don't like the story that she kind of told towards the end of the book. It does end in a satisfying way, but it seemed like she went to a little bit too far, with her realism, where everything else had been more surreal. So it just didn't really fit very well for me. The person who recommended the series to me said that in her mind, it feels like Laini Taylor wrote one long book and then she was told to split it up. And so she took a lot of the explaining and flashback bits and put it all in this book. So that's why it feels so disjointed, and I do agree with her. I do think it feels that way. And I had also said to a couple people online, if you were struggling with The Rise of Skywalker, I found Strange the Dreamer really healing, and Muse of Nightmares is completely the opposite. It made me feel really sad about Star Wars again. So it's kind of weird. It's a weird line to walk. It's still a good book. I think it's still well written. It's just in comparison to the first one, it falls really flat. So I am giving this book a C-. I honestly wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend just reading Strange the Dreamer on its own, and if you really want your questions answered, maybe just look them up, just because this one was really hard to get through. I even had to skim through some sections towards the end because it was getting very repetitive and nothing was happening. So it's a little bit disappointing. I'm very disappointed by the end of this book, but nothing will take away from how good Strange the Dreamer was. So C- for me. Wouldn't really recommend finishing the series. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can talk books with me every week. That is everything I got for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!